Welcome to Friday. Welcome to the Mindfulness Broadcast. I'm Tiffany Grimes with Empower Coaching and Training. And this morning I want to share, in fact, I put it in the chat, this link to a podcast I listened to, Experiments. And the author talks about her journey from one world into another and kind of how she got there. And so that's what I'm going to sum up for you this morning and invite into our mindfulness practice. It really spoke to me and I love it. And here's why. We recently at Empower transitioned from the social media platforms we were on to new platforms, and particularly, so we're on Blue Sky, and we've been on YouTube for a while with this, um, and we've been on LinkedIn, but we transitioned to TikTok, and so it's been really interesting to try to learn what to do on a platform like this at 51 years old and learn what the young kids are doing out there, and to play with it. And I really tried to take the approach of play, and to really think about how I define success over there, because metrics can drive at least me crazy. We put time and energy into something and then go, well, only 200 people watched it and only one person hearted it. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough for this platform. I'm not young enough, whatever. And we can start to roll out into these stories. And so I loved listening to the podcast with on the Good Life Project. She was a guest on the Good Life Project. And she talks about this idea of taking the mindset of a scientist and running little experiments, because scientists don't fail, right? In terms of, if their hypothesis isn't proved to be true, that's not a failure. That is a discovery. That is something we have learned about what works, what doesn't, the world, myself, this time period, whatever it is. And then applying that to our own life. So if we think about things in our life, like messages we give ourselves, I got to get my cholesterol under control. I need to get my stress under control. I need to have that hard conversation. I need to set these boundaries. I need to, whatever it is. You know that talk, right? We all know that talk. And so what she talks about is, rather than think about this gargantuan change that needs to shift to get my cholesterol under control, I've got to think about movement and exercise and diet and medication and supplements and meditation and all these different things, right? That can feel big and overwhelming to a person who's already got a lot on their plate, let's say. So if we took this idea of being a scientist, maybe we create a hypothesis. So something like, I wonder if, or I think that if I started walking 15, 20 minutes a day, I would make some positive impact on my cholesterol level. I'm just going to stay with that example. So I wonder if that's true. So if I was going to run that experiment, what would I need to put in place? Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to walk every day for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to, maybe I'll give myself a time period. I'm going to try it for 6 months. I'm going to try to get a walking partner, but that won't hinder me. I will walk this same route every day at the same time every day. And then halfway through, I'll transition and try it to this other way, right? So I'm crafting this whole experiment to see, I wonder if that'll make an impact in my life. And then I go and I run that experiment and I build in my accountability, and I'm checking it off, or I'm doing whatever, and I'm getting my blood test in 3 months and at 6 months. And I'm gathering that data. I'm not hinging on the edge going, did I do it right? Did I win? Rather, what are the numbers? And then let me take that and apply it to this hypothesis that I've been running. And what am I learning about me? Oh, I saw that when I did this, as opposed to when I ran a little bit rather than when I just walked a little bit, I saw the numbers shift. And how did I feel, right? Not just external numbers, cholesterol numbers, let's say, if we stay with that example, but how did I feel? Oh, my body really hurt when I ran. So it really doesn't matter what the numbers say because that's not sustainable for me. Or, wow, that felt really good. And I think if I did it just 2 minutes of every 15-minute walk, I could do that. I could sustain that, right? We can see the difference. We get out of I should, I need to, I have to, into I wonder if, which invites a very different part of our brain. We invite curiosity. We're learning to move through life as a scientist. What am I learning about me, about my external data, about my internal data? What am I learning about me to really live my life in the greatest way possible for me, according and defined by me? So with that, I hope that speaks to you. Again, I put the link in the podcast. I'll put it in again. I saw a couple of you came after I'd posted that. So it's in there. Really great. The podcast itself was great. So I can imagine the book is going to be wonderful. So with that, let's get curious about our own internal processes through our meditation this morning. You can close your eyes or you can take a soft gaze. And this morning, I want to have you practice a breathing technique that my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, reminded me of the other day, which is to smell the rose or flower. Pretend you're putting your nose in and just deny any spring allergies you might have. Put your nose, bury your nose into a daffodil, some spring flower. Maybe some of you have lilacs already blooming. And just inhale deeply. And then pretend you have a birthday candle or a candle of some sort, and you're slowly blowing that out. Smell the flower and slowly blow out the candle. One more time, smell the rose. And then slowly blow out the candle. And then return to your normal breathing. And just do an all over external body scan for yourself right now. And what I mean by that is thinking about the skin outwards. So, what are you noticing about your body, your external body? It might be sensations on your skin of where you're sitting and making contact. So, there's pressure with the chair or with the floor. You might notice your clothing on your body, where it's snug, where it's loose, and different materials and how those feel. Might notice the sensation of your lips touching, of your eyelids being closed. Maybe you feel your eyeballs moving under those eyelids, and you can feel that on the outside of your body, kind of the movement. You might feel hair on your face or the warmth of the air in your nostrils, the feel of the exhale on your lips. Might notice areas where there's numbness. And just bringing it all in. Almost like a flashlight, if you can imagine. A loving, compassionate flashlight. And then moving our curiosity and observation inward. Seeing if you can notice your heart beating. Notice the gurgling and the magic that happens in the belly. Maybe give a little swallow and notice the process of the throat. The feeling, the sensations, the sounds. Might run your tongue over your teeth and the roof of your mouth. And then moving our exploration and observation into our mind. Notice what's happening. Notice emotional states without any judgment. And also notice the judgment with just a sense of curiosity. Notice themes when your mind is asked to be still. Where does it go? Or most of us were able to be still, and then suddenly we find ourselves in the past or in the future or some fantasy combination. Notice if there's any themes to that. Notice any theme to your self-talk. How are you speaking to you? Can you hear what you're saying to you? As we close our practice, I'm going to bring your attention back to your breath. Smelling the rose, blowing out the candle. Once more, smelling the rose, blowing out the candle. Before you open your eyes, just giving yourselves gratitude for this. And when you're ready, you can come back. I hope you all take the role of scientists today, curious about the hypothesis you might have. Be well, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.